Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and I do apologize, it has been a while. So this one I promised that I was going to make quite a while ago because I was getting so many nice comments about a hummingbird that I painted a little while ago, and everybody was like, is there a tutorial? Is there a tutorial? So now there is a tutorial. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to make a nice background using watercolors. I'm painting my rock black, just the surface of it black, letting it dry, and then I'm using metallic watercolors. I will put the link in the description where you can get them. You can use the ones that I make and sell in my Etsy shop, which I'm hoping to get some more pigment soon and make some more paint for you guys. But it's been extremely busy the past couple of weeks, school starting, and also my oldest son needed me, going through some rough times in his life right now. And so I've been extremely busy. So I really apologize for being MIA the last little bit. Definitely wasn't what I expected. So I will have a couple of tutorials coming out that are really, they were supposed to be out a couple weeks ago. So they might seem a little bit late to you guys. So I apologize for that. But start throwing your ideas for Halloween. If there's something you want to see, let me know. Put it in the comments because I love Halloween, and make sure you check out some of my Halloween tutorials. I'll leave some links in the description of this video so that you have some to look at if you want to try from last year or the year before. But I do have over 350 videos, just to let you know. I believe. I haven't checked recently. But there's lots to choose from, and there's quite a few cute Halloween ones. So if you're interested in that. So I'm basically doing just a rainbow of colors on here, and then I resined it, and the resin is dry. And now I have this easy to work on background. So if I make a mistake sketching on my hummingbird here with black paint, if I make a mistake, I can just wipe it off, literally, with a little bit of water and Q-tips or a wet paper towel. Just wipe it off and start over. It's really easy. So we've got this beautiful, colorful, shiny, glossy background, and it's just glitter. It's just all different colors of glitter. There's a lot of green, blue, a little bit of purple, some pink, yellow, like a more of a gold yellow. And so it kind of looks like maybe a blurry background of trees and flowers. We'll just imagine it. So I am going to make a black hummingbird and black lilacs. I think we're going to kind of, they're not really going to be lilacs, but it's going to be an abstract flower of some sort made up in Rachel's Rocks fantasy mind. They're going to be purple flowers for our hummingbird to feed off of. I'm going to start them with black, outline them with gold, or outline them with gold first and then fill them in with black, because I might do that with the flowers. But yeah, just start with black and gold, and then once that's dry and we have it the way we want it, we start to add the dots. So there will be dots. If you do not want to do dots, start with your color right now. I am just going to let this dry a little bit. Some of the areas are a bit thicker, so I don't really want to mess around too much until the black is dry. So now that the black's dry, I am getting my gold and I'm outlining everything, because you want to be able to stay within your lines when you start dotting everything. And this is basically, I'm sketching it on again. This isn't exactly how it's going to look. This is just being sketched on right now to figure out how I want him to look. But his wings, I'm going to exaggerate the wings a little bit more, make them a little more flowy, I guess. And then I'm getting rid of that line that I made. So I'm just filling it in with black. So these feathers are dragged down like that. But that's like me sketching. It's like, instead of using a pencil and an eraser, I'm just kind of adding as I go along and figuring out how I want it to look. As I go, I just kind of wanted to place the wings where I wanted them. So that's me doing that. I kind of I don't sketch out anything. I do that once I get to the rock. So I don't really know how things are going to look until I get my paintbrushes out. And sometimes everything needs to be adjusted. Are you guys the same way? Let me know in the comments. It is Friday today, so I'm trying to get 2 tutorials up for you guys right now, which is the watercolor octopus that I promised a couple of weeks ago, and then this one as well. So watercolor octopus is pretty simple, really short and sweet. It's the same concept as the colorful octopus that I created, only this one's made of watercolor, so it's a little bit quicker. Actually, a lot quicker. A lot less blending that you need to do. So that will be posted today as well. Trying to get them done before Jax gets home from school, because not sure what our plans are tonight. But yeah, and then you guys have something to do this weekend if you're feeling bored. Also, this hummingbird will be going into my Etsy shop right away. So if you're interested in checking out what I have available right now in there. Also, I really, and I mean, I wanted to say this sooner. I wanted to do this over YouTube on my channel. There's someone I need to thank because they sent me quite a large sum. They sent me a beautiful PayPal donation. And I wasn't expecting it, and it was when I really needed it very much. And it came in extremely handy right before school. It helped with school supplies. So I'm going to say their first name, but I'm not going to say their last name. So Amanda, I just want to say thank you for your donation, literally right before school started. And I was like getting very upset with not being able to get all the things that my son needed. So I just want to say thank you so much, Amanda, for that donation. I appreciate you. And I thank you to everybody who's been liking and sharing and supporting me in any way you can. It really does help. It really does. And I'm going to keep busting now that I've helped my son out. He actually needed to find a place to live and a job. So we've been working hard, and hopefully we are, well, he definitely got a job. So that's good. That's awesome. And we are on the verge of moving him into his new place, his very first apartment, actually, of his own. So that's very, very exciting stuff. And I just want to thank you, Amanda, and everyone else for all your support, constant support, and even just watching my videos. It really helps giving me that view, or, you know, listening to the ad that might come up, or whatever. That does help. That's the only way that that I can keep going, that I can keep showing you this artwork. So thank you so much. Very, very genuine. All of you are just genuine, supportive, amazing, creative people, and I love you all. So I just wanted to say that while I made those fake flowers along the side of the rock. So the hummingbird I did in black first, then I outlined it. The flowers, I did them backwards. I did them in gold first to sketch it on, and then filled it in and cleaned it up. And it's really, my son actually asked me if they were a type of grape, because they do kind of look like elongated grapes. But it's a flower of some sort. We're just going to say it's a flower. We're allowed to call it a flower. I don't know what we're going to name this flower, but it's definitely somewhere between a lilac and a grape. Or lilac? I don't know. Whatever. It's a flower. So I am just cleaning everything up, making sure that everything is the way I want it to look. If there's some gold that's too thick, I thinned it out. If there's black where there shouldn't be, I fixed it. You can literally like scratch off with your fingernails any mistakes that you make, or take a wet Q-tip. Some of your more dull, or not dull, the smaller, finer tip dotting tools. What am I thinking? Lord, my memory. Dotting tools. You can actually scratch off bits that you don't like with those as well, and it doesn't really affect the resin, the surface that you're painting on. So everything's dry. Make sure you don't mess with it until it's dry, especially if you did your flowers along the side of the rock like I did. This rock is very round, so everything's just kind of curling around the side. So the flowers are more around the side of the stone. I have to be careful when I paint and when I hold on to the stone that I'm not ruining anything. So be mindful, right? And demure. So I'm starting with a very dark color. It's called Thicket. And I did add a little bit of water to it because it was kind of thick, being thicket. And it was leaving like pointed dots. So I add a little bit of water to make them a little waterier. Not too watery though. Just be very careful when you're adding water. You don't want to add too much or it runs all over the place and it doesn't even resemble a dot in the end. And I'm adding thicket to the bottom of all the feathers, so the tail feathers as well as the wing feathers. I'm kind of going to do an ombre using different colors of green. Then there's going to be some red and white and coral or pink melon, I should say, on the chest and the front under the eye. But you'll see that after. Right now I've added some classic green to my thicket green, which is what you can see in the top left there. It's just some brighter green, classic green, or maybe it's bright green that I mixed in there. I don't know. I'll let you know in the description which colors I used. But I've just added like a lighter green to that dark green, lightened it up a little bit, and I'm kind of bubbling. I call it bubbling. If you've ever heard of this term before, just kind of like pop bubbling up from, or soda, wherever you're from. Anything carbonated, bubbling up from the bottom of the glass. I'm bubbling these dots up and I kind of mingle them in with the other color, that thicket green. And then they just kind of have like this nice smooth transition from one color to the next. I love doing that with dots. It's fun. You can do all sorts of different things using different shades, and you can contour and do all sorts of stuff with and highlight with different shades of dots. So it's really cool. Now I'm also going to be adding some lime green, so it's a much brighter, and that's not mixed with anything. That's pure lime green. So we're using thicket, bright green, and lime green. And so basically the tops of the wings coming down into that mixture of bright green and thicket, we're just kind of dragging those dots, we're bubbling them down into that color. So it's pure lime green at the top, and he's got pure lime green at the top of his head as well, and running down the spine of his back. So now here's where we're going to add apple red. And I'm just doing his chest. You can take a look at pictures of hummingbirds to see where you want your placement of this color to be, or what colors you want to make your hummingbird, because they definitely don't just come in this color, I promise. They come in many, many colors. So you can choose what your background looks like. Maybe you just want it blue. Maybe you just want to use paint. You don't want to use watercolor and then resin it. It's just too much. Like, you really don't have to do what I'm doing. This is just to give you some ideas. So now that I've got my white and my red, I've put a big gold dot in the eye and then a black dot over top once that dried. So we've got an eyeball. And we're letting the rest of the bird dry while we work on our strange grape lilacs. Lilacs. I don't know. Some people call them lilacs. Some people call them lilacs. I call them lilacs, but caught myself calling it the opposite today. They're grapes. That's it. They're just grapes. So I'm doing 3 different shades of purple in these grapes. There's going to be perfect purple, which is the darkest, which I've started with. Now I'm bubbling up some lavender, and then I'm going to bubble up some light lavender. So it's just going to, once again, have like an ombre effect where it gradually gets from darker to light purple. And that's those flowers. That's easy peasy. You can choose whatever colors you want. You can make your flower whatever you want. You could do some bleeding hearts. You could do real lilac looking type things. You could do whatever you want. A lily. I don't know what hummingbirds like to drink from. What do they eat? You decide. You get to do whatever you want when you're the artist. So I've added some light lavender, which kind of just brightens up the tips of those flower buds, or whatever they are, those grapes. And I'm going to do green in the leaves as well that are holding this stem of grapes. And what I'm going to do in the leaves is I'm going to use a bigger dotting tool, and I'm going to put some big green dots, and then I'm going to add little green dots around those big green dots. So you're going to see that happen. It's just to kind of make it slightly different from the green in the hummingbird. You can change the color, which I did. I added like lime green and bright green together. So it's not quite the same color as the bird, but I didn't want too much green. You know, I didn't want it to look exactly the same as the bird wings. So it's a different color green, as well as the contrast between the bigger dots and the smaller dots. It's just me. This is the way I do things. I hope everyone is doing well. Did your kids or grandkids start school? My son joined the soccer team. I'm so excited for him. He's my little athlete. So very excited. He's really loving grade 5 so far. Very happy for him. And I'm excited to be back into routine. I love routine. I thrive with routine. But the only thing is my oldest son kind of changed my routine temporarily. So I'm just making sure that everything's outlined properly. Once it's been outlined in gold everywhere, I've also outlined it in black to kind of separate it from the background of the stone. The hummingbird is also outlined in black. The wings are separated from one another, and it's looking gorgeous. I needed to wait for the red and white to dry before I could add the pink melon, and that's just to brighten up that area of his chest. Little bit of pink melon. I'm going to resin this again. I just got to add some shine to his eyeball, and then I'm going to show it to you. And I might even be able to show you a couple of things that I have at my desk. It's beautiful, and I think that I'm going to take it outside to show you in the sunshine. Let's see what's at my desk. I love that. And just let me know if you guys have noticed how many times my nails have changed in this video. That's how long it took me to get it done. Now, this is part of a set of 3 that went into my Etsy shop. Inspire, Create, and Hope. Colorful watercolor backgrounds with kind of like little stars that have some dots in them, and then some Swarovski crystals in the centers. Chrome lettering. Super pretty. Very, very pretty. They're kind of fall colors, I guess you could say. And then up next, we have this beautiful moon. It's kind of like a Zentangle or mandala, I guess. Another watercolor background on a beautiful Lake Superior stone. Look at that. Gorgeous. It's very white, very bright. This one, breathe, manifest, hustle, repeat. Not my saying, but I just absolutely love it, along with the chrome lettering that really stand out with those dots. And I used the same chrome for the lettering on this Hope stone. Look at this very unique Lake Superior stone. I like the way it sits like on a desk or a surface. It's kind of on a slant, and that word hope is like shining at you. It's gorgeous. I promised I would take him outside to show you. Just so you can appreciate every little bit of it. The colors really stand out on top of that background. The stone itself is perfect. I love it. It's gorgeous. Those flowers actually look really pretty, but you can always let me know what you think. When it goes out of focus like that, it looks extremely sparkly. But in focus, here it is. Just take a gander. Isn't that lovely? It's very beautiful. A little late. Should have been out much sooner. I wanted to start working on fall things right now, but that's okay. Better late than never. I want to say hi to Beckett before we go. Hope you're doing well, Beckett. Say hi to your mama for me. And everybody, put your Halloween ideas in the comments section so that we can start painting together again right away. I love you all. Keep painting. I'll see you soon. Bye.